So you've just downloaded the app from the App Store or Google Play, and you open it up. This should be the first thing you see. This is the Bluetooth tab. So the first thing you do, assuming your lights are powered up, is tap the reconnect button. It should find BlueGhozt right away, and so you'll just see something that says BlueGhozt, and it has a unique ID for each module. So you tap that, it'll ask you for a pin. So I'm just going to give it a simple pin. For iOS devices, it'll ask you to pair. You just tap pair. So it just went through and synchronized, and when it's done, you should see a blank page like this. The first thing we're going to do is have some fun and make a show mode. So to make a show mode, you tap the plus button here. So this is the show edit tab, we call it. This is where you have some fun. So the first thing you'll probably want to play with is select a show mode. There's a whole bunch to pick from. You know, as you pick one, it'll change the animation. The next two sliders here, we call them intensity and speed. But really, for each show mode, they do something different. And so, if you look at the little text here, it gives a short description of what the slider does. So, just to demonstrate, this is the crossfire animation. So you can kind of see there's a lot more going on, or less, depending on where I slide that one. And then the speed changes with this slider. I can get it really fast or really slow. So you can have some fun here playing with these. The third slider is a master dimmer, so you can dim the whole thing with that one. And then the next thing you can do is you can change each individual color here. And so you see the color wheel down here and the brightness slider. This brightness slider only affects the whatever color you have selected. So for example, I can select the blue there. You'll see the one that's selected has the white border. I can drag my finger around, and as you drag it, you'll see it's kind of hard to tell with the 6 colors here, but it'll live update that color in the show. And the next thing you can do is you can change the number of colors. So the default is 6. This little trash can icon here will get rid of one. And you can go along getting rid of other colors if you want. You can add them back in by tapping the plus there. So I'm just going to go down and yeah, so now it's easier to see. You see the second color is changing as I slide my finger around here. And then the last thing you can do is you can name your show. Okay, and when you're done, you can just tap one of these. This is the menu bar. So you can just tap the home button there to bring us back to the home screen, and you'll see your new show mode is now there. You can create as many show modes as you want. They'll just be listed here. That's why it helps to give them a name. Kind of helps you remember it, but also sort of summarizes it here with the little icons down at the bottom there. Now if you want to edit it, you can tap the little gear icon and it brings you back to that page. If you want to delete it, you get the trash can button there. And if you just want to activate it, you just tap it. If you do that, it'll stay active as you navigate the other tabs. So that's the show modes. So the next tab is the vehicle signaling settings. Your installer probably set these up for you, but you can always change them. You know, one of the nice things about the BlueGhozt is you can choose your animation, whatever you want, and then you can also change your colors here as well. And you'll notice the parking lights has 2 colors. The main reason there are 2 is in case you have one BlueGhozt module controlling both headlights and taillights. That way you can have red parking lights in the rear and white in the front. In this case, I've set the parking lights super dim because these RGBW LEDs are ridiculously bright. I just didn't want to wash out the video. And then again, just like the show modes, you can edit the speed and intensity of each of them. And then the last thing here is these little indicators show you which signals are active. So you see the parking lights highlighted, that means it's active, and that's why the parking lights are on. Likewise, when you hit the brake or the turn signals, you'll see those highlighted. So yeah. The third tab is what we call the arrangement tab. Your installer should have set this up for you. We're not going to talk about it in this video. It's just too complicated for a short video. The last tab is the power switch tab and also the miscellaneous tab. If you have a full BlueGhozt, you can play with the switches here. You can turn them on and off. You can select the mode, pick any of those. If you pick the PWM or the strobe mode, you can control the brightness or the flash frequency there. And then the last thing you can do is tap this little gear. You can name your switches. Give it a name, and you see the name shows up there. Likewise, this button here at the bottom will add them to home, and that way you can toggle them while you're on your home page as well. Now also on this tab you can nickname your module. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to show you, this is where the naming of the module comes in. You'll see the save devices down here. Some of these settings, which is basically all the settings on the signaling tab, all of this configuration settings, and some of these settings on the power switch tab are saved on the BlueGhozt, and they're saved permanently, so if it loses power it'll still have them. They're saved when you disconnect the Bluetooth. So if you walk away from your car, the Bluetooth will disconnect and it will save the settings then. But if you want to force it to save, you can use either the X button or the trash can button, and that'll cause it to disconnect. So right now it's going to save. You might see the lights flicker briefly when it saves. There's a couple of other icons here. One is the lock icon. If it's locked, that means that your phone or your tablet has remembered your PIN number for it. The other one is the auto reconnect, and what that will do is if it's not enabled and I hit search, it won't automatically connect to the module when it finds it. And if I tap here, you see it's enabled now. When I search, it's automatically going to connect when it finds your module. Like so. And then the last little icon is the connection icon that just indicates that it's currently connected. So that pretty much covers the user's guide to the BlueGhozt. I hope you enjoy it and have some fun with your show modes. See ya.